Well, that's my short-lived ownership experience of a shipping container.
Hello everyone. In my previous video, I was busy cleaning and prepping my shipping container to get it ready for paint. Unfortunately, things took an unexpected turn. The county ordered me to remove the container immediately, citing zoning code restrictions. In this video, I'll share the details of what happened. Although my experience owning a used shipping container was brief, I did learn quite a bit about buying one. First and foremost, check your zoning code before buying a container. If you have an HOA, forget about it. You are likely out of luck. Next, you will need to decide between new versus used and choose the size of your container. I went with a 40-foot used high cube, basically the biggest size you can get. The standard height is 8 feet, but a high cube, also known as HC, is 9 feet tall. I suspect the large, rusty container may have triggered some complaints, which led to authorities getting involved. So be cautious. What you may see as a useful storage solution, others may see it as an eyesore. I tried to hide it behind some brush, but it was still quite visible from above. In my previous video, I talked about the hassle of cleaning and repairing a used container. If you don't want to deal with that, you're going to pay a premium for a new one. New containers are often referred to as one-trip containers because they're shipped once across the ocean. When deciding between new and used, as well as the size of the container, here's what you should consider. If you're looking for a 20-foot container, it might be worth getting a new one. After factoring the cost of repairs, cleaning, and painting a used one, the price difference isn't huge. For a 40-foot container, new ones are very expensive. For a new 40-footer, you're looking like $7,000, may include the delivery, which is why most people opt for a used one. A used 40-footer is typically 15 to 20 years old and may be a bit beat up. Dents, rust, patches are common. A seller generally sells a used container as airtight and watertight. It means no holes and no water leaks. Here are the key lessons I've learned about buying a used container. Number one, overall condition. You don't want something with large holes or severe damage. Number two, the floor. A good floor is essential as replacing it can be costly. Number three, the door. You need good door hardware that functions properly. In my case, both the floor and the door were in decent shape. The roof, this is something I missed. A concave or rusty roof can lead to leaks, so make sure the roof is as flat as possible. Lastly, use a local seller that also does delivery. Avoid online ordering. Make sure the final price includes the delivery. Also, go with someone that offers a written warranty for water leaks. Now here's how my short-lived container ownership came to an abrupt end. While I was cleaning and fixing it up, I received a letter from the county. Apparently, someone had complained about the container on my property. The letter was several pages long, listing all the regulations on shipping containers. At first, I didn't think much of it. I figured I just needed a permit. But when I applied for one, I was told my property's zoning code doesn't allow shipping containers. It was a huge shock to me. I live on a rural property down a dirt road with multiple acres and without an HOA, and I had seen containers in my neighborhood. But the letter was very clear. Remove it immediately or face fines of up to $10,000 per year. I contacted the seller. They agreed to take the container back. Financially, it set me back nearly $1,000. Honestly, I was mostly in shock. I had no idea about the container restrictions in our area. While I'm here, let me show you two of the issues I was working on fixing. Even though I no longer have the container, I hope my solutions may help someone else who's dealing with similar problems. First up, the roof issue. For the pinholes, I decided to weld them shut. I've seen people use flex tape to seal the holes and then paint over it. I think it can be a practical solution, You just need to remember reapplying it in a couple years. The concave roof, however, was a bigger challenge. I initially tried jacking it up,
You can see
but
here
it just
how
kept sagging due to the steel's memory.
So, as I'm releasing, because I already set up this thing here for a good 40 minutes, and I need a jack, so when I release it, you will see it came down right away. It came in right away.
My final solution was to use a 2x2 piece of lumber, cut to size. I would push up the roof, then anchor the lumber on both sides of the wall. I tested the concept, and it worked, but I didn't get to fully implement it before the container was hauled away.
Caping. I wonder if I can use a...
The second issue was the smell. I was honestly worried that I'd never get rid of it. I kept the doors open with a fan running 24/7 for a few weeks, and eventually the smell completely dissipated. After closing the door for a few days, the smell didn't return. So my recommendation would be to use this method to eliminate the stench entirely, rather than trying to mask it off with something like a smoky coffee.
If I close up the door and close it up again.
When the container was delivered, I filmed how the ingenious delivery system worked. Well, the inventor, Chris, is back again. Let's take a look at how he used his patented solution to remove the 40-foot container all on his own.
So he's gonna first disconnect, and now he separates the cart. This is a remote cart from the trailer. See what this is doing. He's so versatile. Oh, that thing can even pull the container on its own. He just totally used a remote to hook this, I guess you call it a hitch, to the container. See, everything's remotely controlled. Yeah, just use remote control to hook on this hitch onto the container. Now he's raising this up. Everything's done remotely. Everything is done using a remote control. No, except this part, of course. Now this is lifted up. Putting a jack under here. Wow. Remote again. It's gonna drop it. I figure. There you go. It's on wheels. Just like that. It's like magic. This is small wheels you can drive on the property, and that big cart, like 8 wheels probably, or I didn't count. 8 or 4 or 8 wheels that he can drive on highway. Just a well thought after design. Everything is compacted. This works as a mud flap. So this essentially works as a mud flap, right? So you have to put every consideration into it.
Yeah.
It's very clever. Yeah. Chris He's designed all of this. He's patented. Very smart guy.
Getting out of here.
Uh-huh.
I could do this.
Put it a little closer.
Give me a little bit better turning.
Yeah. Requires some incredible skill.
So that was that. Now the container is banned. I still need a place to store the extra stuff and then clean my garage. I believe you don't need a permit to build a tool shed under 200 square feet. I think that's what I'm going to do next. When I do that, I'll update it with a new video.
Rule number 1, check your local zoning code before you buy it.
Thanks for watching.
You still have to think about buying a used one versus a new one. A used one just needs a lot of TLC. Be prepared. It's going to be quite some bit work.